Hello and welcome back to Process of Elimination. My name is Maybe Dennis, and last time we finished our investigation and found out that the first murder was not as we thought it was. It seemed that after finding out the truth and piecing things together, it seemed that Senior Detective was actually trying to kill Downtown, and Downtown was trying to kill Senior, but it was like both known that they were going to kill each other in like a murder-suicide, double suicide kind of thing. And that was like really weird, but then we decided to come out here to, test the waters with something. Watto knows that the Black SPX will chase after the Quartering Duke's blood specifically. And oh boy, we all cut ourselves except for one person. That's right, Doleful, here standing before us, was the true Quartering Duke. And the reveal was honestly really kind of chilling. I kind of had it coming, but I didn't expect it to be that like, ooh. But honestly, Doleful being the Quartering Duke isn't the biggest revelation. It was the fact that the Quartering Duke cases, Quartering Duke has no physical proof to it because Quartering Duke didn't kill anybody. Yes, what were we gonna do? All the victims just kind of killed themselves in a double murder, double suicide, murder-suicide. So what do you do about that? So that was really, really cool. The way they revealed Doleful, honestly a little bit cliche, but honest, I really enjoyed it. And this honestly, yeah, this is really cool. I really like it. But once again, I've been mentioning this a lot recently, especially in the last two episodes, but I want to know why were people, I guess, willing to die for this person? Although I think it's less that now, and more the fact that people probably were already at a point where they were willing to do this thing, and Doleful was able to incite them. So, we're gonna finish off the case today, hopefully, unless this goes on for like another 3 hours. But yeah, I'm gonna hop into it and hopefully reach the end of this case. So, let's head into it.
大切な人が死んで嘆いていた遺族の方々にさらなる追い打ちをかけることも。かわいそうな悲劇の被害者が理解できない異常な事件の加害者となって名誉が失われることも。自分が真相を解明することで何百人、いや、何千人もの人から恨みを買うことも。覚悟の上なんだよね。
Damn. You're saying, oh, you want to reveal the Quartering Duke? Well, all you're going to be doing is revealing everyone who has been a victim to actually be the culprit. All these over 100 people, all killers. What are you going to do? Public is going to go crazy because Quartering Duke didn't do a single thing. It was just the other people killing another. So that's going to be wild. How are you going to deal with that? I swore I'd become an ideal detective, somebody capable of saving others. I swore I wouldn't hesitate anymore, but now my heart is swimming in doubt. Remember your denouement. If you don't solve this case, everyone will die.
八崎港事件の真相を解明し、世間に公表することは何よりも悲劇を生む行為なんじゃないのか。僕はどうすればいいんだ。教えて、誰か助けて、サイカちゃん。
No, she's not going to be here. No matter how hard I think, I can't arrive at an answer. I don't know what choice a detective like me should make.
やっと分かってくれたみたいだね。僕は八崎校じゃないから分からないけど、探偵がこの話を聞いたらみんな同じ顔すると思うな。
I wonder if Doleful is just naturally like this sadistic, or if there's actually a reason behind why, maybe a sympathetic reason, or like why they wanted this to happen. At the moment, they're just coming off across as Quartering Duke think people killing each other is really fun. Ha ha ha, crazy murder dude villain. But it'd be more interesting if there was another reason, you know?
お友達の仇を取ろうと必死だった渋谷さんだって、自分の行動がお友達の名誉を傷つけると知ったら、八崎校に寝返るのも仕方ないよね。
Oh, that's how she got a hold of Downtown. Is because once she found out that, oh, my friend didn't just die. She wasn't killed by the Quartering Duke, but no, she actually killed people. crap. And behind the curtains, we saw how much Downtown really cares for her friend. And as a result, she can't reveal that. So she's one of the detectives who was like, no, I can't actually tell them. So I'll have to actually just deal with it. Don't know why they would side with the Duke, but oh wait, maybe it was blackmail. Maybe it's like, if you don't help me, I'll actually reveal this, and then oh god, that's really messed up. But like, to take their own life too? Oh.
老師さんや社畜さんは過去にたくさん罪を犯してきた人だ。過去の罪を暴かれるよりも他のみんなと同様、悲劇の被害者として死んだんじゃないかな。
Yeah. Oh man, Dolphin's got us by like the balls, man. They're like, because like, I already explained why workaholic would probably be, you would probably be able to incite them to commit suicide because they've done so many terrible things before, and in order to preserve their image, or at least make it so that, you know, their death had some meaning, killing Renegade, well, they could be set up as one of the these cases, according to cases where, oh no, they're just killed by the Duke. They weren't a criminal, right? And Senior, we haven't seen him in the story. We've seen him in the lexicon. We've seen how he's actually, you know, he's made a whole bunch of these houses. And actually, I want to check the roster. I want to see if his name is here. Yes, Meicho Aragis, age 62. Originally a famed architect whose name was known by all in the field. However, a series of cases occurred where the special mechanisms installed within the manor he designed in his youth were repurposed for murder. He then became a detective himself, seeking to personally apprehend those boorish criminals who misused his art for violence. Ah, I see. So yeah, that checks out, because he is also very guilty of all these murders, even if he wasn't necessarily directly involved in them. So, oh man. So they were able to essentially guilt trip a whole bunch of people into committing these crimes.
特に社畜さんは家族も残っているから必死だったろうね。なんせ八崎公の罪を暴けば自分の罪も世間にさらされる。その上、的外れな推理で下道探偵を疑って仲間を殺したとなれば、下道探偵に罪をかぶせて自分も死ぬことで責任を取る以外に選択肢はなかったんだろうね。まあ、全部僕の推測だけどさ。
Oh man, he's so manipulative.
お前はどこまで残酷なんだ。
残酷なのはどっちだよ。命を奪われる場はそれぞれが悩み抜いてたどり着く境地だ。そこに第三者の探偵が我が物顔で踏み入って真相を解明するなんて馬鹿げてる。絶対に許されない。許しちゃいけない。だからこそ八崎公は探偵など不要の事件、探偵撲滅プロジェクトを生み出したのさ。
The Detective Elimination Project. Yeah, this confirms that Senior was a part of the, I don't know if it was part of the Dayless Night, but at the very least helping the Quartering Duke, because we heard him initiate the Detective Elimination Project in episode 1. Man, this is so cool how it like just cycles back.
なんだよ、それ。どうしてそんなプロジェクトが必要なんだよ。
君には八崎公事件で死んだみんなの気持ちがわからないみたいだね。
Dolfo gives a disgusted sigh, then continues.
僕にはわかるよ。きっと辛くて苦しくて死にたくて。でも死ぬ勇気なんてなくて。明けない夜のような毎日を過ごしていたに違いない。彼らの気持ちがわかるのは、僕みたいな死にたくても死にきれないやつだけさ。
Oh. Wow. So, even though they're invincible, they're actually suffering from it. That's just really bizarre, man.
死にたくても死にきれないって、どういう意味だよ。君はこれまで幸運に救われてきたんじゃないのか。
論より証拠だ。いいものを見せてあげるよ、無能くん。
Oh god, is he gonna cut himself and then the XPX is gonna try to kill him and then the XPX is just gonna explode or something? Dolfo abruptly turns a knife in his hand and raises it high.
何を
He plunges the blade down towards his chest. It's carefully angled parallel to his ribs. As it stands, it'll pierce his heart and kill him instantly. However,
危ないのである
Armor catches the arm holding the blade, leaving Dolfo unscathed. I know this is the quartering Duke we're up against, but still, I'm relieved.
ほらね、また死ねなかった。洋館の罠部屋で死にかけた時は、無能くんが助けてくれたよね。僕が死のうとすると必ず誰かに邪魔されるんだ。
Wow. Once again, this is like really, really bizarre, but it's kind of believable in a way because of how they established Invincible. It isn't necessarily that they're strong or even the danger sense or anything. They're in a situation where they'll always get out alive, whether it's someone else sacrificing themselves or they know where to go because it's dangerous or anything else. All these weird circumstances just lead to him surviving.
邪魔されるって、そんなの当たり前じゃないか。むしろ、止めてくれた武装さんに感謝すべきだろ。
He's saying that like fate is essentially forcing him to live.
なんで感謝しなきゃいけないの？自分の命をどう扱おうが勝手でしょ。勝手に救ってるくせに、恩を着せないでくれよ。
飛脚ども。
どうせもう計画は達成されたんだ。全部教えてあげるよ。
Oh, okay. They're just coming out with it now.
僕の周りではね、昔から人が大勢死んでいった。その中にはママやパパも含まれていて、物心がつく頃にはこの島の地下の牢屋に入れられていたよ。そこで僕は自分の力を知った。それは無意識のうちに自分へ迫る脅威を察知して回避行動を取る力さ。僕に降りかかる脅威は罠も裏切り者も SPX も全てを回避できた。どんな実験からも生還する僕を指して職員たちは不滅探偵と呼んだよ。
Yep. That was the first thing that kind of gave it away.
もっとも僕は生き残りの中でも特に弱々しい外見だったから、僕が不滅の力を持っていることには最後まで気がつかなかったようだけどね。社畜さんも知らなかったみたいでさ、研究棟の地下で真相を教えてあげた時の顔は最高に傑作だったよ。
君が不滅探偵の正体って認めるんだね。じゃあ八つ崎校の正体も君ってことに。
There's technically no physical link linking them, so...
ならないよ。不滅探偵が八つ崎校の正体だなんてのは社畜さんの妄想じゃないか。むしろ僕は被害者だよ。これまでずーっと過去に探偵同盟が犯した罪の証拠をつかもうとしてきた。だけど見つからなかった。洋館の設計士である老子探偵も改装後の隠し通路の開き方は未把握だ。その上エレベーターの鍵すら地下にある始末。地下通路の開き方をどうしても知りたかったよ。だから偶然君たちが洋館に閉じ込められて隠し通路を見つけてくれて本当に助かったよ。なんたって僕が地下通路を見つけるのを手伝ってくれるんだもの。
僕らを殺さなかった目的はそれか。初めから自分の目的に利用するつもりだったんだな。
Oh, so they joined the investigation in order to, even though they, were investigating them, he was trying to find the opposite. He was trying to find dirt on the DA, and he ended up succeeding in his goal because we found a whole bunch of shit.
地下通路の秘密さえ解ければ、あとはみんな死んじゃってもよかったんだけどね。僕と相性の悪い下道探偵が余計な殺人事件を起こすわ、赤い SPX を解放させるわで、僕一人じゃさすがに手に余る状況だった。だから仲良く行動させてもらったよ。ありがとうみんな、大好きだよ。
あなたのせいでどれほどの人が死んだと思っていますの？この鬼畜、恥を知りなさい。
恥を知る？どうして？ 脳死探偵も渋谷探偵も社畜探偵も、それに死んでいったみんなも自ら望んで死を選んだんだよね。それのどこが悪いことなの？君は何を許せないの？
Oh man, I can understand Senior a workaholic, but it's really sad to see Downtown wasn't a criminal prior to this, but once she found out that her friend was, it shows how much she cared for her friend in order to die for them, essentially. Die for their pride, which is, frustrating.
はあ？私が許す許さないじゃありませんわよ。社会的に許されないと言っているのです。
社会的に？それ何？自分自身以上に優先される存在なの？家族探偵、君の言葉は道端の選挙ポスターよりも響かない。だって君は本気で死にたいと思ったことがないんだから。本気で死にたいと考えている人にとってね、生き続けること、それ自体が悲劇なのさ。早く解放されたい、楽になりたいってずっと考え続けているものなんだよ。
君はずっと死にたかったのか？
ああ、いつだって死を望んで生きてきた。
Wow, it is really depressing, but like, I can't say it's unrealistic because it really touches upon like some dark emotions that a lot of people have. Because people, even if they appear to be like happy and cheerful, like what I assume Shibuya's friend to be like, you never really know what's going on that can essentially make it so that they kind of lose it. And it's easy to understand that feeling of just feeling depressed, you know?
僕の周りではね、いつも事故が起きたんだ。そのせいで家族が死に、友達が死に、養父が死に、関わる人が次々と死に、僕だけが生き残った。
I keep sighing because like this is kind of a lot, but I can kind of understand it. And I guess for Doleful, even though I don't think they were naturally supposed to be sadistic, at one point, even like though they were depressed, even though they wanted to die, they couldn't. In fact, they kept inviting trouble that ended up hurting the people around him. So it ended up making him even more depressed.
これほど苦しむくらいならいっそ死にたいってずっと思ってた。でもいつも僕は生きながらえてしまう。そんな僕に生きろっていうのか？周囲を殺し続けながら笑って過ごせっていうのか？幸せを感じていけっていうのか？
だからって死んで何になると言いますの？人は生まれ持ったカードで戦うしかありませんわ。私だって落ちぶれた実家を嘆きましたが、今こうして必死に抗っていますわ。人は成長できるのですわ。
うん、能力なら伸びるね。でも絶対に変えられないものがある。それは生まれ持った天運だよ。家族さんには才能もその才能を生かす環境もあった。でも僕は真逆。
Man, Doleful is, I guess, survivor's guilt, like the character, at least in terms of how they've suffered.
実際この島での事件でみんな成長できているけど、運だけは変えられないじゃないか。僕は生き続けている限り周囲を不幸にし続ける生まれついての存在悪さ。そんな僕でも生きている価値があるって君たちは言い切れるのかい？
それでも努力すれば。
報われるまで頑張れっていうの。頑張っても報われない日々を何度繰り返しても心を折るなっていうの。死を選ぶような人こそ努力を続けてきた。生きることに絶望するほど頑張りすぎた人たちなんだ。
Oh yeah, this This really hits hard, man. Because even though it's like everything they've done is kind of extreme, this idea of like the idea that they're spitting out, that they're preaching, is very relatable. Because sometimes, especially in life, when you just kind of go through the motions, it's very hard to really see color in it if you don't manage to find something that you're invested in. It just becomes, I guess, dreary and dull, and honestly very depressing if nothing good comes out of all the hard work that you put in. I mean, I can see the opposite side. The only way to actually see the light is if you continue working hard, but sometimes people just don't get to have the chance of that. It just doesn't happen. So it's just easier to not work than to work hard and have nothing to show for it. But that's a seeing the glass half empty kind of thing. It's one way of looking at a problem, but I can't deny that it's definitely a way that a lot of people can view problems, especially since, you know, the current situation with a lot of people isn't very good. There are so many problems nowadays that it's hard to think of many things in a positive light.
努力では絶対に変えられないものもあるんだよ。自分が恵まれていることにも気づけない幸せ者は黙ってろよ。
生まれながらの自分の境遇を恨む気持ちはわかります。僕もこの足ですから。でも恵まれない境遇だからこそなせることもあるんじゃないですか。飛躍さんだって探偵として成功してきたじゃないですか。
そうだね。探偵として生きている間は楽しかったよ。実際このまま探偵として生きるのも悪くないと思った時期もあったよ。この仕事なら自分のおかしな体質も生かすことができるってね。でも探偵として悲劇に触れていくに従って気づいてしまったんだ。悲劇の元に生まれてくる人や悲劇に耐えきれない人もいるんだってね。ねえ、悲劇に耐えきれないことがそんなにいけないことかな。死ぬという選択肢は人生においてあってはいけないの。
ダメですよ。家族が悲しみますよ。
But what if they don't have any?
そっか。じゃあ家族がいない人は死んでいいんだね。
それは
あらゆる不遇を経験した僕だからわかるけどね。家族に愛されない人も家族を愛せない人もいる。僕を愛した最初の家族は交通事故に巻き込まれて目の前でぐちゃぐちゃの合いびき肉になった。2番目の家族は憔悴しきった僕を励ますために必死に愛してくれた結果、瓦礫の山に潰されてぺしゃんこだ。3番目の家族は僕に恐怖し、僕を疫病神扱いして殺そうとしたけれど、今では家族揃って病院のベッドで一生寝たきりさ。
Wow. I mean, I guess they're not wrong in that case. It's like life just really pointed at Adolfo and was like, yeah, I don't like this person. Let's just keep messing up their life.
家族のつながりなんてものは霧より希薄なものなんだよ。
家族以外にもきっと自分を大切に思う人はいるはずだ。死ぬなど言語道断なのである。我には生き別れとなった妹がいた。
Long lost sister.
今では家族と呼ぶこともかなわぬが、それでも愛し続けている。世界には自分が気づかないだけで愛してくれている者がきっといるのだ。
そんな人が一人もいないとしたら、
今はいなくともいずれ現れる。そう信じるほかないのである。
Honestly, it's really hard to argue against Dolfo in this case, because you can always say things will get better, like what Armor is doing, have a more positive outlook on life. But to some people, that is more difficult, and like if life just keeps beating you down, you start wondering like, what is the point? Does it get better? What if it just gets worse and it just keeps going down? It's because some things just don't necessarily get better, but the only way for it to get better is if you if you give an effort for it. It's really... I can kind of understand Dolphal's point of view now, because, like... What can I say? Life is depressing, man.
どうしてそう言い切れるの？僕は自分が誰かに愛されるだなんて自信どうあがいたってモテそうにないよ。武装さんはとっても自信家なんだね。すごいなあ。
違うのだ。そういうことではなくて。
どういうことなの？君は世界中のみんなが誰か一人には愛されているんだって、いずれは愛されるはずだって、とっても平和的な主張をしたいんだろう。そばにいるだけで誰からも疎まれる僕にはとてもじゃないけど考えつかない発想だよ。いいなあ、君は愛されるような人間で本当に幸せだな。
人は人と関わらずには生きていけない生き物よ。生きている限り誰かと必ず関わるし、自分の死は必ず誰かに影響を与える。だから生きなきゃいけないの。自分と関わる誰かのためにも生きなきゃダメなのよ。
Sorry, it's kind of ironic that she's saying this now, because she said, I'll make sure that the courting Duke doesn't get off this island alive.
出たね。そう、その価値観こそが人から死ぬという選択肢を奪い去っていく。
何が言いたいのかしら。自分のことしか見えていないと視野が狭まって人生がとても空虚なものになってしまうでしょ。自分もこの世界の一部なんだって気づくことができれば、視界が開けてもっと明るい道を進んでいけるはずだわ。
Holy crap, ever since the beginning of this episode, it just seems like it's a giant therapy session for Dolphal.
出たね出たね。明るい道を歩ける人ならではの能天気な考えが。視界が開ける。自分は世界の一部。何それ。そんな全体主義的な考え方に多くの人が悩まされていることに気づきなよ。
全体主義。
無能くんは知っているかな。この国ではね、自殺しようか思い悩む人の7割が誰にも相談しないそうだよ。
I don't know if that stat is right, but I can definitely understand it.
つまり自殺寸前まで追い詰められてもなお誰かの負担になることを躊躇してしまうんだ。そんな人たちはきっと最後の最後まで相談できずに死んでいく。おかしいよね。誰だって一番大切なのは自分自身のはずだよ。それなのにどうして自分より誰かの都合を優先するの？ねえ美食探偵、君が今自分の喉をかっ切ろうとしているのもその矛盾の一つなんだよ。
She's not, I mean, Dolphal's not wrong. She was willing to kill herself in order to take other people down.
美食さん、あなたまさか。
ええ、決めたわ。この子は世界にとって有害すぎる。
Oh god, but we still have the thing. Can you take it off of us first, please, man? Oh man, but this is gonna be proving like their point, saying like it's not fair for you to strip people of their right to, you know, kill themselves because you're gonna do it right now.
巻き込まれたくない子は離れていなさい。私が死ぬことでこの子の首輪を起爆させるわ。
Oh, okay, that's how we're gonna avoid it. Okay. 10 meters, 10 meters. Her eyes tells me that she's serious. She really intends to kill Dolphal here and now. Normally, I would have stopped her immediately, but right now, I can't find the courage. The Quartering Duke's existence is an even greater atrocity than I realized. I'm keenly aware of societal rot that he's caused.
殺すなんていけないと思う。でも、この状況じゃ。
Oh, a denouement! At that moment, my vision flickers. The next thing I see is Gourmet, collapsed and covered in blood. And there stands Dolphal, without so much as a scratch.
ダメだ美食さん。あなたがここで死んでも無駄死にですよ。
何を言っているの？
さっき飛脚くんが言っていた通りです。もしあなたが命がけで首輪を起爆させたとしても、彼は殺せない。
And that just kind of shows how good at manipulating people Dolphin is. He almost made Gourmet kill herself without, like, even doing anything. Even if it's out of obligation, because she thought that she would be able to kill Dolphin. But no, it was going to be useless.
首輪は不発します。その未来をシミュレートできました。
Oh my god. Of course it's going to misfire, because it's Dolphin.
不発って、そんなわけないじゃない。確かに古い予備かもしれないけど、あの子の首輪だけ不良品になるなんてどれほどの確率だと。
It's fate. It's fate.
せっかく解放されそうだったのに残念だったね、美食さん。無能くんの言う通りだよ。万が一美食さんが死んでも、きっと僕の首輪は爆発せずに生き残る。あなたは無駄死にする。
It just occurred to me what this is. This is suicidal Komeda from Danganronpa 2. They're just destined to have like a certain fate on them. Wow.
よーくわかっただろう。僕は死なない、死ねない、死なせてもらえない。それが僕なんだよ。
なら差し違えてでもこの手で殺してみせるわ。
The moment you do it, it's like, oops, you happen to trip on a rock that wasn't there and stab someone else. Wow, what are the chances? Gourmet readies her knife. Her hand trembles ever so slightly. Denouement?
震えているよ。決死の覚悟の行動が失敗したんだもん。そりゃ自信がなくなるよね。ねえ、どうしてそこまで必死なの？社会のために自分を犠牲にするって本当に意味があると思ってる？
意味があるに決まっているわ。あなたを止めれば昔の私みたいな犠牲者を減らせる。そのために私は、
そのために自分が犠牲になるわけだ。今この世界は美食さんみたいな子ばっかりなんだよ。
Oh man, that's another way of how Dolphin is able to incite suicide, is because she's able to not only feed off their depression or whatever they're suffering from, their guilt, but also their obligation.
人は社会性を持ちすぎた。最も大切なのは自分自身だというのに、いつだって誰かのためばかりだ。
Yeah, that's why Downtown died. She cared too much about her friend and her I guess not really pride, I don't know if that's the right word, but she didn't want people to think worse of her friend for being a murderer, so she was gonna find a way to take that to the grave.
こんな現代だからこそ八つ咲コウが必要なんだよ。八つ咲コウ
事件の死者が増えた理由。
I've been wondering how the Duke was able to find so many obedient pairs willing to kill each other. Then, as if sensing my confusion, Dolphin shoots me a grin and continues his speech.
彼らはね、自分から八つ咲コウにコンタクトを取ったのさ。
Oh
つ
god.
まり死を望んでいた人たちばかりなんだよ。
Oh god, it's the wrong suicide hotline. Oh no.
ありえない。死にたいから八つ咲コウにコンタクトを取るなんてめちゃくちゃじゃないか。そもそもどうやって証拠も残さずに連絡を取り合ったんだよ。
難しい話じゃないよ。もし八つ咲コウが探偵なら、探偵として各地に飛ぶたびに死にたい人たちとのつながりを作っていけばいい。
Oh, that's true. Gourmet said that a lot of the areas where the victims were places where the DA had investigated before. So specifically I guess Dolphin, because Dolphin I believe has reached the highest number of cases, barring I believe barring Ideal. So Dolphin has worked on 123 cases. I think that's the most out of everyone here. Ideal has like 1,000 something or some shit. Oh no, wait. Renegade and Posh both have a lot, but Dolphin is the next highest one.
渋谷さんのように従順な部下が何人もいれば、 八つ崎港を中心とした不可視のネットワークが出来上がるさ。
God damn it. Okay, sorry, I just needed to make sure I didn't skip anything. But once they got to downtown, they had access to a lot of people. Hold on.
被害者たちを結ぶ中心点は八つ崎港だけど、被害者と顔すら合わせないとてもか細い線だ。いくら操作したって見つけられなくて当然だよね。
そんな、どうして連絡を取ってまで自分から命を絶つような真似を。
不思議なことかな。僕は当然の流れだと思っているよ。さっきも言った通り、人は死を考えた時、つい周囲への影響を考えてしまう。誰それに迷惑をかけるんじゃないか、残された家族に迷惑をかけるんじゃないかってね。人生は自分のためにあるっていうのに、世の中にはびこる全体主義的な考えに毒されて何も考えられなくなるんだ。
Oh man.
でも八つ崎港事件の被害者として死んだ人たちはどうかな。八つ崎港ではなく死んだ人たちを責める人を見たことはあるかい？
Wow. I can't stop reacting like this. This is actually really, like, I'm starting to connect the pieces and as to why all these things happen, and it surprisingly makes a lot of sense. He's essentially becoming a martyr for all of those who want to die, but because, like, suicides impact a lot of people who are close to you, because I think it hurts a lot more than an accident or passing away through, like, other unfortunate means, because you realize that that person's gone through a lot of suffering that maybe you could have helped or, like, prevented. But by having this thing, it gets rid of that factor. Gets rid of the factor of, I guess, the guilt or whatever kind of other feelings that whoever is close to you will feel. Instead, they'll feel hatred towards the quartering duke or fear over whatever else they could have felt. And I guess a lot of people felt like that was an easier avenue than just, you know, committing suicide. Thinking back on it, I've seen comments from the Duke's followers praising him, but never did anyone who derided the other ones who died.
いないだろう。当然だよね。殺される理由などなく、悲劇的に残酷に殺された哀れな被害者に追い打ちをかけようとするやつなんて、誰かを批判することが生きがいの人々くらいさ。分かっただろう。八つ崎港に殺されたことにすれば、誰にも責められず、哀れな犠牲者として周りから同情されることができるんだ。八つ崎港は死の免罪符なんだよ。八つ崎港事件の被害者の多さは、そのまま現代社会で死を望む人たちの多さを表している。
Oh man, we live in a society.
八つ崎港は殺しているんじゃない。生きることに苦しむ人たちを救っているんだ。
Oh man, this is so weird, but I understand it now. Everyone falls silent, at a loss for words at the reality of this case. Dolfo's argument is a strong one. No one speaks up to counter him. We've gone through so much together, and now we understand him just how much pain his ability has caused him. For some, life is such an agony that death would be a salvation, and the Courting Duke is a free pass to get there. In the face of this unspeakable truth, someone as ordinary as me couldn't possibly muster a reply.
ねえ、無能君。君はいつも悲劇を覆すとか言っていたよね。
He's gonna be like, what if death was not a tragedy, but their life was? And that's what the Courting Duke was offering.
この悲劇も覆してみなよ。どうあがいたところで100人以上もの悲劇を覆せるとは思わないけどね。
Doleful! No, the Courting Duke erupts into raucous laughter. I clench my fists and just stand there uselessly, unable to do a thing. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Maybe becoming a great detective really is beyond my capacity. Saika? Zero. Whoa. Oh, this is where we started. Why are we here? I realize that I'm on a familiar street. It's a town that I call home. Oh wait, that's Tokyo Tower in the background. I never noticed that. I live in a normal life in this average peaceful place. Back then, I didn't know the truth about what had happened 10 years ago. Even though it's only been a week, I can't help but feel a strong sense of nostalgia. Is that Watto? Okay, making your way to the center of the screen. Huh? I see a familiar boy pass by. It's me? But his complexion is sickly, and his gait is unsteady. He looks like he could kneel over at any second. Didn't kneel or keel? Oh, wait, it's a keel. My bad. Hey, are you alright? Huh? I can't stop myself from calling out. Even his voice is identical to mine, but he doesn't seem fazed as he responds to me.
何か用ですか？塾に遅刻しそうなので、何もなければ失礼します。ごめんね。顔色が悪かったから心配で。心配だから何なんですか？
The next moment, the face of my lookalike turns angry, and then he begins shouting, his tone growing coarse.
助けてくれるんですか？勉強を肩代わりしてくれるんですか？頑張っても上がらない偏差値を上げてくれるんですか？志望校に合格させてくれるんですか？そいつもこいつも大丈夫って聞くだけで助けてくれないじゃないですか。大丈夫じゃないですよ。でも誰も助けてくれないじゃないですか。そう、助けてくれるのは八崎校だけなんだ。だからもういいんだよ。大丈夫じゃなくて僕はいいんだ。ちょっと。
Oh, that's painful. The version of me consumed by his academics starts off somewhere. But then another me appears. Again, when I try to speak to him.
仕事を肩代わりしてくれるんですか？何を助けてくれるって言うんですか？お金をくれるんですか？家族を養ってくれるんですか？将来の不安を取り除いてくれるんですか？何も救ってくれないくせに生きろなんて言うんじゃねえよ。こっちはただ楽になりたいだけなんだよ。どうせ生きてたって幸せにはなれないんだからな。
I'm not gonna say like this is a problem that's more present in Japan. It might be, but from what I understand about Japan society, about how it's kind of like a, what was it word called? A collective society or something like that. About how a lot of people are very, very conscious of, I guess, their place in society, not to disturb other people, not to put a lot of, not to essentially like bring too much attention to yourself in like this way. So a lot of people end up holding it in. And I can understand how a lot of people would feel these feelings. It's really depressing, but it is present. It is a thing. Whoops.
何もないよ。生きていたって面白くないってだけ。趣味が持てるっていいよね。羨ましいよ。何をやっても面白くないのに、どう生きろっていうの。
I forgot to read this. I stand there, berated by my own self. Another version of myself confronts me, exasperated. And another one.
英語と言うなら助けてよ。親が作った借金をあんたが代わりに背負ってよ。どうして私なの？ねえ、どうして私だけこんな境遇なのよ。
Man, they had a lot of different portraits for Watto in this one scene. And another, sobbing in frustration. As my awareness fades, my various selves continue to cry out at me, lamenting their lot in life. Soon, my vision and the entire expanse of my mind turn pure white. I remain still in an empty void, enveloped by a slight floating sensation.
そうか。ようやくわかったよ。八つ咲き港にすがる人たちはこういった人たちなんだね。今僕が見ているのは未来で八つ咲き港に頼って死んでいく人たちなんだ。
There was certainly nothing remarkable about them, and in truth, this world is full of individuals like this. Sure enough, life isn't always fun and games. In fact, it's full of constant challenges. There's no guarantee I wouldn't have ended up as one of these versions of me, not if I hadn't been summoned to the morgue or reunited with Saika. If it's like Dulful says, and we truly inhabit a world where anyone might call upon the Duke, maybe we're in the wrong for trying to expose his crimes after all. Maybe detectives who reveal unpleasant realities aren't necessary. Maybe it's preferable to tell a palatable lie. Maybe dying is easier than living.
もう頑張らなくてもいいんじゃないかな。
I kind of wonder how we're going to solve this. I do think that, Renegade being Renegade, his little thing about putting up the note or whatnot is going to end up trapping Dulful, because he's really smart and he doesn't think the same way that Dulful is, so no mercy. But the thing is, like, the core problem that I guess Dulful is trying to address is, for lack of better words, is we live in a society, but more specifically, it's the unfortunate circumstances and the pressure and just the depression that people feel. You can't just say, oh, don't be depressed, don't be poor, don't get into this situation, because some people just naturally either get into that situation, whether they want to or not, or, like him, Dulful is invincible, even if I guess in exchange for that invincibility, he attracts so much trouble, and there's so much pain that he has to go through despite the fact that he's still living. And that's like one unfortunate situation for him. You might think invincibility is great, but you might not consider the fact that he's just been suffering this entire time. And it's kind of like, would you rather not die but constantly suffer, or would you rather die? And the answer for Dulful was obvious. And honestly, for a lot of people, they would probably choose the same thing as him. And there are a lot of other situations that, I'm not going to say are similar, or situations where people literally can't help but getting into, not because of them, but because of how society or the world or just fate just deals them a bad hand. Yeah, man, it's just kind of, it's hard to really understand how Watto is going to solve this, because once again, you can't just say, oh yeah, no depression, clear, right? So I wonder what answer he's going to arrive at. I feel my resolve crumble as I second guess my ability to continue following in Saika's footsteps. I've walked the path as a detective for so long, yet I've lost the road ahead of me. With my willpower gone, I feel weariness take over. So long, like 11 days. Forget it. I should just leave things as they are. It'd be so easy. I noticed something fall from my pocket.
これ、
Picking it up, I realize it's a Hanafuda deck. Oh, as I examine the cards decorated in cherry blossoms, my vision flickers. Rowdy! Rowdy!
なんだ、胸があっちい。姉さん、すまねえ。俺は
ヤマトさん。
I think I hear Rowdy's devastated voice. A burning pain lingers within me, as if I've been pierced through the chest. This scene, it's... Another one? Mystic. Oh, no, never mind.
これが毒を食らう側の気持ちか。脳みそが溶けているみたいできっついね。
We're gonna get through everyone's death and how we're gonna see the opposite. We're gonna see not everyone's desire to die, but everyone's desire to actually live, or maybe regret dying.
魔界ちゃん、文学ちゃん、他のみんな巻き込んじゃってごめん。布先輩、飛躍なんかに負けないでよ。死ぬってわかるとさ、やり
たいことがたくさん頭に浮かんでくるって。
I'm struck by a sudden chill, as though my mind is dissolving. It hurts. I'm dizzy, nauseous. Unable to stay on my feet, I topple over. Tears stream freely from my eyes. But it isn't because I'm in pain. It's because I finally grasp the purpose of this vision. The denouement is showing me the past, the final memories of the detectives who perished here on Morgue.
罠を利用するとはなんたる非道だが俺は死なん文を一人にするわけにはいかない生きなければならんのだ
君たちを置いて先へ行ってしまってすまない。やはり鬼は最後まで鬼のままだったが、それでも君たちへの愛は本物だ。
Oh man, I know Workaholic's done some terrible stuff, but I feel bad for him too.
決して届きはしないだろうけれど、私は意識の途切れる最後の一瞬まで君たちを思う。だからパパのことなど忘れて幸せに生きてくれ。愛しているよ。さようなら。
ねえ、今ならまだギリ引き返せるけど、マジでやるの？
原点1、
Oh,
この状況に至って臆したのか、渋谷探偵。
oh wow, we haven't heard Senior's voice since I guess the first few episodes.
私たちはすでに22名を殺した。今さら自分の命を惜しむなど許されるわけがないだろう。
じゃあなんで計画にない子を島に入れてんの？八つ咲き校には言わないであげるけどさ、明らかに反逆っしょ、あれ。
私にもわからんよ。これまでずっと死にそびれたと思って生きてきた。だが最後に未来ある若者と出会えたおかげで託してみたくなったのかもしれんな。私のできなかった満点の生き方を。
Wow. Huh.
なんだよ
Memory after memory plays in my head. Everyone has differing thoughts as they die, but all of them think about living, right until the bitter end. Now one of them was truly hoping for death.
最後にその名前で呼んでくれたか。この島に来た時から死を覚悟していた。10年前、君に運命を肩代わりしてもらったあの時に、私は一度死んだんだ。なのに人間は強欲だな。覚悟していたというのに、今はの際となると未練が残る。ワト君、きっと君のことだから、私に代わって再び理想探偵の道を歩もうとするだろう。最初で最後のわがままだ。君が理想探偵を名乗れるようになるので、
Oh.
君のそばにいさせてくれないか。
Aww. That's why she ended up being a ghost for him. Fuse. Oh, we're in space. The floating sensation that had consumed me soon disappears, and I finally feel my feet firmly planted on the ground. Amidst the blinding whiteness, familiar figures loom just ahead.
みんな
The detectives, who have since passed now but appear before me. This can't be real. This must be a vision created by the denouement, or maybe they're all delusions born from my mind.
やっと本当の力を使いこなせるようになったか。 エンドシーイングの本質は未来の死を予知することじゃない。この世界の全てを見る力だと説明したろ。
I mean, you did say that, but like, I feel like there's no way that we would have understood what they said during their last moments. Like, no amount of evidence we see in the crime scene would have given us that. Definitely supernatural. And then, as if addressing my doubt, Saika materializes before me.
君は今、私たちの残留思念を見ている。それぞれの探偵とのつながりが私ほど強くはないから、意思疎通まではできないだろうがな。彼らが何を悔いているのか、君にわかるかい？
Dying?
みんなの悔い。
I look again, but their faces have gone dark. What worldly repentance could they have longed for?
わからないよ。みんなは何を悔いているの？
I think everyone regretted leaving someone behind.
私にもわからない。
なんだよ、それ。
死者の悔いなど、普通ならわかりようもないさ。八つ咲公が救ったと思い込んでいるようにな。だが、君にはその見通す力がある。君ならばいずれ、死者たちの思いを見通すことすらできるようになるだろう。それまでは必死に考えるといい。本当に彼らにとって死ぬという行為が正しいのかどうかをな。
僕も最初は八つ咲公の言う通り、救いになってると思ってた。でも今、エンドシーイングの力で、いろんな人の死に触れて思ったんだ。やっぱり八つ咲公は間違ってる。楽になるために死ぬことは救いではないんだって。
人は事実に合う論理的な説明を求めず、理論的な説明に合うよう、知らず知らず事実の方を曲げがちになる。
ホームズの言葉だね。
詭弁に振り回されるなよ、ワト君。八つ咲公事件で死んでいった者たちは、本当に自らの意志で求め、救済されたのか。君の思いをぶつけてみろ。君と八つ咲公の一騎打ちだ。
Okay. I think I get it. I think I understand how Watto is gonna spin this in his mind. So, truthfully, there is no cure or solution to, just depression, to, regret, to trauma, to the circumstances that people are privy to, or not privy to, but like are exposed to. But he's saying that death isn't the answer because Watto is a person who's experienced death so many times on this island, and he knows that everyone who died here has not been, their death has not brought them happiness. It has not even, in fact, it didn't really solve anything. It's not going to help their problem. It's not going to make them feel better. It might be the end of their lives, but that it's not gonna, it's just not the right choice. At least from Watto's point of view, because he can see the dead, or at least the residual thoughts. And that's going to be his answer. Ending it is not going to solve anything, which is why, it's... I'm not going to say the only choice is to just continue on and hoping for the best, but there is no right answer, but there's definitely a wrong answer. I think that's what Watto's going to say.
ありがとう、サイカちゃん。
I think that's life in a nutshell. There is no right answer for anything, but there are a lot of wrong answers. They should all be dead, yet here they are, looking at me with happiness on their face. I don't know what their smiles are supposed to mean. How am I supposed to understand what the dead are feeling? Hey, wait, where's Renegade? But whatever the case, I want to believe that they've placed their hopes in me.
安心してください。皆さんの無念は僕が晴らします。
I really like the fact that what triggered this was the Hanafuda card from Rowdy, because I do understand. I know that he definitely had a bonding moment with Rowdy in chapter 3, but I feel like the effects after it, I mean, Watto was more confident in his choices as a result, but he kept going back and forth, and he never really fully developed the confidence that Rowdy had from what she was doing. But now it kind of re-triggered and helped helped him essentially be more confident in his choices. I feel like, I hate to say this, but I feel like of all the characters here, she didn't really make as much of an impact to the entire group, aside from maybe like Watto and Gourmet. But I'm glad that she's coming back to make like another impact on Watto. Seeing this here and now is all I needed. When I think about how I'm taking on the hopes and dreams of those who pass, I feel as if a ray of light is shining upon me. I feel as if I've realized the full truth behind the case of the Quartering Duke. And this is long. I hope I don't have to break this into like 2 or anything. My consciousness comes back to reality. I wipe the tears that have spilled from my eyes and face the Duke once more. I'm not going to hesitate anymore. Even if the reality is a tragic one, there's only one thing a detective can do in a situation like this.
八崎公、やっぱりお前は間違ってる。八崎公事件は救いなんかじゃない。立派な殺人事件だ。探偵の誇りにかけて、お前を必ず捕まえてみせる。
ぼーっとしていたかと思ったら急におかしなことを言い出して寝ぼけているのかな。
I'll have you know I had plenty of rest just now.
捕まえる？まさか本気でこれまで死んできたみんなを加害者に仕立て上げる気？いい身分だよね。さすがはそれなりに幸せな人生を送ってきただけあるよ。覚悟ができているんだね。多くの人たちから恨まれる覚悟が。
覚悟ならできています。
Bookworm steps in front of the Quartering Duke and begins to speak. Man, I really like Bookworm. It's just that, like, ever since Mystic's death, which, you know, was very unfortunate, she's just been, like, a very, very supportive sidekick to Watto. And her stoic personality, I mean, she's also kind of, like, you know, fun sometimes. And, like, the fact that she doesn't hold back against other people, despite being the youngest one here, is really, really charming.
真実が幸せだとは限らないなんて当たり前です。私はお父さんが死んだ真相を知って本当に胸を裂かれる思いをしました。
It's too serious now. No more third person.
それでも今は真実を知ってよかったって思っています。真実を受け止めない限り私は前に進めなかったのですから。
文学さんは強いね。嫉妬しちゃうくらい強くてキラキラしていて憧れるよ。でも君みたいに強い人ばかりじゃない。君たちが真相を明かせばより多くの悲劇が確実に生まれるよ。
君の言う通り、厳しい現実よりも甘い嘘の方が心地いいかもしれない。世間なんて気にせず自分が救われる選択をすべきだ。でも八崎港事件の被害者たちは救われてなんていない。あれは立派な殺人事件だ。
殺人？誰が殺したっていうのかな。彼らは八崎港という免罪符に自らすがっただけで。
免罪符なんて甘い言葉に置き換えるな。断言したっていい。八崎港事件で死んでいった人たちはたとえ自殺であっても殺されたのと変わらない。
はあ？自らの意志で死んだからこそ証拠も残さずに100人以上も犠牲者が膨らんだんじゃないか。
Music's going in.
何度も言わせるなよ。八崎港が接触せずとも彼らの心は死んでいた。
違う。死ぬ以外の選択肢がないって思い込んでるだけだ。それほど視野が狭まるくらい追い込まれているだけで彼らだって本当は死ぬ以外の選択肢が欲しいはずなんだよ。
その選択肢が見えないから問題なんだろ。努力すれば選択肢が増える人ばかりだと思うな。そもそも努力する余裕だってない人もいるんだよ。
Man, I can kind of understand both sides. Because like Dolfo's problem doesn't apply to everyone. Like he said, it won't apply to. Well, it doesn't apply to Bookworm because she's strong enough to move on. It doesn't apply to Posh because she's also strong enough to find other ways to essentially pursue her own goals. Some people are not strong enough, but some people are. While Watto is essentially saying that like the reason why they're ended up relying on the quartering Duke is because the quartering Duke convinced them that that was their only option. It's not easy to just, you know, say, just do better or just, you know, find out something else. But if you don't see the option to, then you'll only keep going down, and that's what the quartering Duke showed them. But I'm not gonna say if you try, it gets better, but if you don't try, you won't be able to see any way for it to get better. This is really heavy. I really like this though, but like, I didn't expect it to go in this direction. It's a topic that's kind of sensitive, especially nowadays when, you know, depression is very, very prevalent.
死ぬ努力はできるのに。努力する余裕がなかったなんて、選択肢が他になかったなんて、どうしてわかるんだよ。死んでいった人たちと八つ咲校の間にはつながりなんてなかったんだろ。
I actually kind of missed what he said before, but they can still put in effort to die. Yeah, I missed that.
君はただ死んでいった人たちが自分の思う通りに死んでいったと信じているだけだ。本当に選択肢がなかったかなんて分かりようがないだろ。
なんだいまっとうには反論できないからって答えが出ない問答で煙に巻こうとでも言うのかな。確かに八つ咲校事件で死ぬことが本当に幸せかはわからないよ。でも生きることが幸せかもわからないじゃないか。
It's a glass half empty.
少なくとも八つ咲校事件の死者たちは自分の意志で死こそが幸せだと結論付けたんだ。その行動、
結論付けること自体が罪なんだよ。
結論付けること自体が罪？
研究棟で社畜さんに問われたよ。自分を犠牲にして命を救うか、見捨てて自分が助かるのか、どちらを選ぶかって。
Wato's answer, no.
カルネアデスの船板だね。社畜さんは自らの行動で自分を犠牲にする選択肢を取ってみせたわけだ。それで無能くんならどちらを選ぶ？やっぱり社畜さんのように自分を犠牲に命を救うのかな？
いや、そんなことしないよ。
へえ、意外だな。自分さえ生き残ればもっと多くの人を救えるって考えるタイプかな？
それも違う。僕はどちらも選ばない。
No!
気づいたんだよ。その問いかけの欠陥にね。
The flaw is that there's actually space for two people.
何を言い出すかと思ったら興ざめだよ。どうせどちらも救う道を探すとか言うんだろ。いざその現場に立ち会った時にはそんな綺麗事じゃ誰も救えないよ。探偵なんて所詮真実を暴くだけの存在なんだからね。
分かってるさ。だから僕は状況も知らないまま救うなんて言う気もない。カルネアデスの船板も八つ咲校もどちらも同じ欠陥を抱えている。それは二択の中から答えを選ぶよう強制することだよ。
That is true. I didn't think of that.
カルネアデスの船板と八つ咲校が一緒だって。そんな詭弁で八つ咲校を語るな。八つ咲校は救いなき生を終わらせる救世主。死にたくても死ねない人々にとっての希望だ。
同じだよ。君は花から悩みながら生きていくか、死んで楽になるか、そのどちらかしか選ばせないじゃないか。でも現実は問答と違う。死を選んだらそれまでだけど、生きることを選んだ場合は人生が続く。もしかしたら悩むこともなく生きていく選択肢も出てくるかもしれない。死を選ばない限り人の選択肢は無限に増えていくんだ。
黙れ選択肢が増えるのは天運に恵まれている人たちだけだ。生まれつき恵まれない人たちにそれはない。死んだ方が楽に決まってる。
I hate the fact that I can really understand where Dolfo's coming from, because sometimes you just keep thinking that, like, oh man, if I were lucky, or man, if I wasn't in this situation, or man, if I had X, Y, or Z, and those thoughts sometimes just keep piling up. But like, especially for Dolfo, who just lived an unfortunate life, where fate was literally said, haha, screw you.
死ねない僕だからこそわかるんだよ。死んで楽になりたいっていうこの国に住む人たちの願いがね。さっきも言ったろ。八つ崎港のもとに100人以上の志願者が集まったことが何よりの答えさ。みんなも気づいているんだよ。死んで楽になる方がずっと幸福だってね。
楽になることと幸せになることは同義じゃない。
That is true. That is a good answer to that, actually. Even Dolph was like, oh!
船板の問題を出された時にも社畜さんに怒られたよ。どっちも救うなんて綺麗事は言うなってね。この問いかけの厄介なところはまさにそこなんだ。本当はそれほど簡単な二択じゃない。本当はもっと複雑で二択以外の選択肢についても考えられるはずだ。それなのに二択を迫る。可能性を極端に絞られてしまう。そんな状況じゃ二択のうちの楽な方に流れて当然だ。
似た問題にトロッコ問題というのがあるわね。
Oh, the trolley problem with the multi-lane drifting.
一人をトロッコのレールに投げ込めば5人の命を救える状況。それでも8割以上の人はレールに投げ込まないと答えるそうよ。そして自分の選択を肯定できる人はわずか3割。正解のない二択を迫れば楽な方に答えが流れるのは必然なのだと思うわ。ヤマトちゃんみたいに強い子ならいいけれどね。みんながみんな強固な意志で決断することは難しいの。
ええ、その通りだと思います。特に気分が沈んでいる時なんかは余計に視野が狭まります。僕もこの島の事件ではつい一人で考え込むことが多かった。僕一人じゃこの島で起きた事件は一つだって解明できてない。悩みながら生きるか楽に死ぬかの二択を提示して選ばせる八つ崎港のやり口も同じだ。
You know what? I was wondering how, Wata was gonna get out of this, or not necessarily get out of this, but find a solution, his own solution to this problem. And honestly, I think I appreciate it a lot. It's a little bit idealistic to think that everyone has like all those options, but like I believe that you never know whether things are going to get better or worse. That's the truth of it. But unless you try, you won't ever have the chance for it to get better. And even if you have to trug on, then well, you kind of just have to trug on. It might get worse and might even make you more depressed. But I think the major thing that I've really taken out of this is the idea of options. It's not just things get better or worse. It's not just a straight track. And it is not just, live or die. There are other things you can do. There might not necessarily be just, Actually, no, I really have to think about how I say this. Because this moral dilemma has given me a lot to think about. I think I've kind of said what I needed to say. It's kind of the idea of it's not just live or die. It's not just, having two options. It's to keep going so that you can see maybe a potential way for things to get better. I mean, or at least give the effort so that maybe you can potentially have more choices than just to live or die. It's really hard to say what, is right or wrong. I don't believe there is a right answer to this. I just think that there is a wrong answer. But nothing is really easy and things may not necessarily get better. But you won't know until you keep trying. It hurts. I know I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but like I've said before, this one episode has given me a lot to think about.
楽して死ぬことが幸せだなんて限らない。たとえ苦しくても悩みながらでも幸せに生きられる選択肢だってあるかもしれないじゃないか。
あるとも限らないだろう。僕だって諦めなければ救われるって信じていたさ。 死んでいった人たちだって他の選択肢を信じていたはずだよ。誰だって子供の頃はコウノトリの存在を信じているさ。それでも誰しもどこかで現実に打ちのめされる。救いなんてありはしない。自分の人生は悲劇そのものだって。
No, Santa Claus is not real. No!
君に死んでいった人たちは救えたのか。探偵一人に何ができたって言うんだよ。誰も救えない君に八つ咲き子を批判する権利なんてない。死に救いを求めて何が悪いんだよ。
I mean, Dolfo says, do you think one detective could have done anything to help? You couldn't rescue anyone. You have no right to criticize the Duke. But on the other hand, you could also think, oh, one person was able to cause this much trouble. So on the other hand, maybe one person can help that many people that were troubled by that same amount.
悪いさ。だって今君自身が口にした通り、人が本当に求めているのは死ぬことじゃなくて救いじゃないか。
For the first time, the quartering Duke is at a loss for words. Without hesitation, I speak my thoughts to hammer my point home.
死ぬことは妥協した結果の手段だ。ただ救いを求めるならもっといい手段が必ずあるはずだろう。君は全体主義を批判していたけれど、迷惑をかけずに死ぬという手段自体だって全体主義的じゃないのか。本当に個人のことだけを考えるなら迷惑なんて気にしないはずだろ。
違う。僕は誰にだって救いがある世界を作りたかっただけだ。誰かに迷惑をかけることを恐れる人たちに救いを。
迷惑をかけずに死ぬくらいなら迷惑をかけてでも生きてみせろよ。
It's better to live and cause problems.
誰に迷惑をかけてでも、世界に迷惑をかけてでも、まず自分が生きることこそ第一だろ。救いなんてその上で探せばいいじゃないか。世界に迷惑をかけずに死ぬことで救われるだなんて、そんな悲劇の結末は認めない。君が作り上げた悲劇は僕がこの手で覆してみせる。
それが傲慢だっていうのがなぜわからない。自分で結末を用意できない人だっている。救いを見出せない人がいる。そのためには八つ咲き子のように心地いい結末を用意する存在が必要なんだ。それとも悲劇の舞台上で哀れに踊り続けろとでも言うのか。探偵
He's like, I'ma do it.
君の方がずっと残酷じゃないか。
I'ma do it.
その通りだよ。残酷だっていいさ。恨まれたっていい。それでも僕はみんなを悲劇の舞台から下ろしたりしない。死んでしまえば舞台は終わりだ。でも生きている限り悲劇は覆せる。幕を下ろさない限り何度だってどんな悲劇だって覆すチャンスはあるんだ。
それは君に才能が。
僕が無能だったことはよく知ってるだろ。
Oh, that's the reason for the name. He's incompetent, but he's risen.
きっとこの島に来なかったら僕はいつまでも何もできない無能のままだった。もしかしたら八つ咲き校にすがって努力することも諦めて楽になろうとしていたかもしれない。でもこの島でみんなと出会えてたくさんのことを学んで僕は強くなれた。誰にだって悲劇を覆すチャンスは訪れるかもしれないんだ。
訪れるとは限らない。
でもゼロじゃない。死んでしまったらゼロだ。死は未来の自分の可能性を奪うことになる。それは誰にとってでもなく自分自身にとって罪深いことなんだよ。きっと誰もが自分を悲劇の主人公だと思ってる。でも誰もが悩みながら苦しみながら結末を覆そうと戦い続けてるんだ。その戦う意志をもうお前なんかに奪わせたりはしない。撲滅なんてされない。理想探偵に代わって必ず事件の真相を発表してみせる。
Mm-hmm. I like this. Just like how Dolfo was a perfect person to explain how tragic life can be, I mean, I guess Watto was like the perfect person to show how people can essentially rise up from the lowest point.
無能探偵！絶対に後悔するぞ。君はヒーロー扱いなんか受けない。大勢の人の名誉を傷つけた罪人として恨まれることになるんだ。自分の理想を押し付けるエゴイストな探偵としてね。
覚悟はできているぞ。でも無能探偵の名にふさわしい結末だろう。誰にも理解されなくたって、
You have allies!
誰一人いなくなったって、
上司に相談もせず一人で抱え込むんじゃありませんわよ。
Here are
あ
my
なた一人に
allies!
罪を背負わせたりするものですか。無能さん、私もリーダーとして一緒に罪を背負いますわ。これまで死んでいった人たちのためにも八つ咲き校の罪を告発しましょう。
Teamwork makes the dream work!
我も背負うぞ無
I
能
have
殿。
my friends!
確かに死ぬことが救いとなる場合もあるだろう。だが大切なものを救えなかった我だからこそ、自身も死に瀕した我だからこそ断言できる。どのような理由があろうとも生きることから逃げてはならないのだ。この武装探偵が何に変えても無能殿を守り抜こう。
少女は意を決して
Oh, third
一
person
歩前
time.
に踏み出したなんて他人事じゃいられませんね。
Wait, this is no time to be speaking third person.
お父さんも渋谷探偵もこの島で散っていった人たちはみんな必死に生きていました。いくら残酷でも醜くても私もこの世界から目を背けたりしません。無能探偵と共に強く懸命に必死で生き抜いてみせます。
僕は下道探偵に指摘されていた通り、無意識のうちに自分の境遇を傘に来て誰かに守られることが当然だと、自分が悲劇の主人公だと思っていました。
Come on, Techie, don't talk off screen. Come onto the screen.
ですがこの島で多くの経験をして自分のためにたくさんの人が傷つく中で分かったんです。八つ咲こう、いえ飛脚さん、あなたも救っただなんて言い換えずにちゃんと向き合ってください。
Oh
あ
man,
なたが殺してきたたくさんの命と。
I really needed this music. That other scene was really, I mean, it was really good once again, but it got my mood down. Like, oh, but now I'm just like jamming to this sax, man. It's going hard.
私も命を懸けて世界を守ろうと思っていたわ。でも無能ちゃん、それに飛脚ちゃんの言葉を聞いて分かったの。
Did it help you realize that your death would accomplish nothing?
この世界はまず他の誰のためでもない、私自身のためにあるんだってね。
I'm gonna live so I can eat food.
だから飛脚ちゃん、まずはあなたを捕まえるわ。世界のためにとか関係なく、あなたの生き方がムカつくからね。
You piss me off. The morning sun pierces through a world shrouded in the darkness of night. Oh man, look at this. This is our party. Yes. Its rays shine on those gathered around me, casting long shadows upon the ground.
ありがとう。みんな僕と一緒に背負ってくれるんだね。
正気か、正気なのか。探偵同盟の本部からも止められているんだろう。
Well, screw them.
君たちの味方なんて世界に一人だっていない。それなのにどうしてそこまで。
I don't need any more allies. I have my 5 buddies.
それが探偵の仕事だからだよ。探偵が必要とされるのはいつだって悲劇の後。誰も解き明かせない悲劇と向き合うことが僕たち探偵の役目だ。
I will have to say, in every like Danganronpa game, they always focus on like one keyword. Like in the first game, they focus on, what was it, hope and despair? Mainly despair and how to counter it. the second game, I think it was like Live or Life or something, or The Truth, I forgot. I think it was The Truth. And in this game, they really focus on the word tragedy a lot. You hear it so many times, but I guess it is the theme to try to reverse all the tragedies.
他の誰もが目を背けたとしても、探偵だけは悲劇と向き合わなくちゃいけない。だから僕たちは何度だってはっきりと言ってやる。八崎港事件の犯人、それは飛脚探偵、君なんだ。
Everyone faces Dolfo. No, the quartering Duke directly. No one's flinching, no one's looking away. Just as the Duke says, it's hard to tout our efforts to reveal the truth as justice. But no matter how many names get dragged through the mud, no matter who criticizes us, no matter what hardships we may face, we will reverse this tragedy, firmly believing that once we do, the brightest future awaits us. Yeah, they're gonna be like, I didn't kill nobody. What's all said and done, you know, even if you like think I'm the quartering Duke didn't kill nobody. The quartering Duke chortles as he raises his knife.
そんなに追い詰められたって僕は不滅だ。絶対に死ぬことはない。この状況で SPX に襲われたって、きっと理想探偵のように正義感の強い誰かが身代わりになってくれるに決まってる。
The quartering Duke slashes his wrist, spraying his blood every which way. In an instant, the dreadful mechanical whirring erupts from close by. Reacting to the quartering Duke's blood, the black SPX springs to life. Not good. If this keeps up, he's going to be killed. What? What? What is this? Is there any sense in saving a maniacal killer? Either way, there's no time for internal debates. Stick to ideals! I jump in front of the quartering Duke and guarding him with my body.
理想探偵が死んだ時と同じだね。とっさに体が動いたんだろ。
Alright, Watto. How are we gonna get out of this?
あれだよね。後悔しながら死んでいけばいい。
後悔なんてないさ。絶対に生かすことが僕の覚悟だからね。
As the quartering Duke's words reach my ears, my vision goes white. I'm not sure how to deal with this. Oh, armor. No! Uh-oh. Just as I'm about to be attacked, armor leaps forwards to shield me.
まったくサイカも無能殿も我の大切な者たちはいつも我の先を行く。もっと強く早くならなければな。
Oh, he said Psyche again.
ありがとうございます。僕なんかのために。
So, oh right! His attacks didn't pierce his armor. It was less
我だけでは
lethal.
ないさ。
よかった。爆発してくれた。
Oh, did you put the bombs on
美
them?
食さんに首輪を外しておいてもらって正解でしたね。まだ首輪はあります。覚悟してください。僕が時間を稼ぎますから、皆さんはヘリポートの外へ。
We're about to lower the helipad. Everyone moves away from the black SPX at Techi's command. I like how they're using like the investigation map in order to essentially have this cutscene, because like there's no way they're gonna make like totally new animations for this or whatnot, but it is like a pivotal moment, so they want to at least have something. He must have a strategy in mind. I follow after the others without question.
作戦通りですね。
All according to Cake!
少女はヘリポートの加工ボタンを押した。
Before I can grasp the situation, Bookworm dashes to the control panel and operates it, causing the platform to descend with the SPX still on top. Too fast for you!
いつの間にこんな作戦を。
即席ですよ。あなたのおかげで私たちも随分と団結力がつきました。 少女は
Third person again.
お待ちなさい。
I hear a voice call out from behind.
隙を見て逃げ出すと思っていましたわ。私の目は
Oh, using your eyes now! Finally! Being useful!
僕の手にはまだナイフがあるんだよ。 女性の君で捉えられると思っているの。
You can't say that it's 2024!
あらあら、私を舐めていますのね。
Did you forget her Baritsu power? Watch out! You won't die, but you'll get injured just like the denouement. Oh my god, I just realized. Yeah, it's just like the denouement. Posh catches the quartering duke in a collarbone with a knife hand strike. Unable to react, the duke topples over from the sudden assault.
ピンタート家殿下の宝刀バリッツ、ようやく決まりましたわ。
Oh man. Oh, the music ends just at the right time.
まだだよ。僕にはまだ決定的な証拠が何もない。
Oh, no, it's starting up again.
君たちには逮捕することだってできないはずなんだ。この事件を解き明かすことなんてできないんだよ。
そうとも限らないわよ。
Oh, yes! 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 Renegade from the dead! I was hoping this would come up because I realized, well, the person who killed Renegade was not Workaholic. It was, the person who pressed the button. Gourmet stands before the quartering duke and produces a slip of paper from her pocket that reads, "This button may cause death."
この紙覚えているかしら。下道ちゃんが死ぬ間際、エレベーターのボタンに貼られていた張り紙よ。
Ooh, do we have evidence though? Because like, technically you can just say, I didn't push the button, because like, even though we all know that he pushed the button, I don't think they actually left any evidence, because I'm pretty sure most people would have pushed the button as well in order to get up the floors.
この紙を警戒してあなたがボタンを押してくれたわよね。
それがどうしたのさ。
警告を無視して行動したことによる殺傷は過失致死傷罪に当たる可能性があるわ。この場合本当に過失だったかどうかたっぷり調べないといけない。今の行動も含めてあなたには意図的に死を引き起こす疑惑があるもの。余罪も含めてたっぷり調べさせてもらうわね。
She's saying, I have reason to take you in, even if you may or may not have done it intentionally, and then afterwards, we'll investigate everything you've done.
何の権限があってそんな。
連邦捜査局の捜査官としてよ。私は探偵同盟のメンバー兼現役の捜査官だからね。
Oh, she's an FBI operative! What? I thought you were Russian. Do we I don't know if that really... yeah, what? Oh man, I didn't see that coming. Me and the others are just as shocked. The news did say that the FBI had joined in the investigation, but I think Gourmet was with them.
私の任務は不滅探偵と呼ばれる人物を確
Wow,
保すること。
okay.
任務のために素性を隠し続けてきたけれど、ようやく報われるわ。自分からベラベラと全貌を明かしてくれたし。
The enchilada.
下道ちゃんの死だけはあなたの行動が原因だと断言できるものね。あなたまんまと下道ちゃんにはめられたのよ。
Oh, so she's saying she can do it because, like, even if there's a lack of evidence, they're FBI. So I guess there are a lot of loopholes that they can go through in order to, I guess, arrest Doleful. And I like how that's why Renegade was smiling. He's like, ah, gotcha! Bye-bye! Boom!
最後の最後まであの男。
あなたを逮捕するわ、八崎公。詳しくは書で聞く。なんてね。
Handcuffs click as the Duke's wrists are bound. Robbed of his freedom and the will to resist, he plants his face in the grass and lies motionless. I get the sense that we finally brought this long, twisting case to a close. The sun comes out. We all look towards the bright light of dawn. In the distance, I hear a steam whistle, and the DA rescue ship has finally arrived.
遅すぎますわ、まったく。
Yeah, it took them 10 days. Assuming that they weren't going to get here on the first
ちょうどいいんじゃな
day.
いでしょうか。八崎子を確保できましたし。
お腹が空きました。と、少女はお腹を押さえて、その場にへたり込んだ。
救助が来るまで時間がかかりそうだし、朝食の準備でもしましょうか。 簡単な祝勝会がてらね。
Are we
グ
going back
ッ
to the
ドアイデ
manor?
アなのである。では、早速研究棟へと入ろう、無能殿。
We still never really got Armor's backstory.
ほら、飛躍くん、一緒に行こう。僕たちはこれから長い付き合いになるんだからね。
Yeah, you're gonna be in prison. The Duke. No, Dulful's head hangs low. I offer a shoulder, but stumble when he puts his full weight on me, his leaden body drained of all strength. But I keep taking one step after another, supporting him all the while. Who knows what the future has in store? There's no doubt that a tragedy unlike any we've ever seen before lies in our fate. But even so, there's no way I'll stop walking forward. Oh man. That was quite something, I'm not gonna lie. For the lives of those I called my allies, for those who have died by the Duke's hand, and for her, the one who supported me until the very end, I resolve to shoulder all those lives as I continue living.
さようなら、サイカちゃん。
Shouldering all those lives and renegades like, yes, you understand. You understand the weight of a life. I whisper quietly to myself. As I do, I feel a fond and familiar presence from behind, warm as a morning sun. Oh, is she back?
ありがとう。バト君。
Oh, she is. Oh, is it time for the credits? Ah, yes it is. Okay, this did not end up being as long as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like super 2 hour, 3 hour long. Oh man. Okay, so you could probably tell from my voice, but I actually really enjoy this game. I remember seeing some spoiler-free reviews before saying it kind of drags in the middle, and I was a little bit afraid of that. But honestly, I never really felt like it was that bad. I thought the beginning was a little bit slow, to be honest. But after the first case, or maybe in the second case happened, I feel like the pacing was pretty good. It did feel a little bit uncomfortable sometimes when we had no resources, no food, not enough space. It felt a little bit claustrophobic and whatnot. But I really, really enjoyed this experience. Yeah. I did feel whoa! Ah, okay, we have a different color palette. I thought most of the mysteries were pretty good. If I were to base it on a case-by-case basis, I think maybe the third one was a little bit weaker. The one with Workaholic, because I had some trouble really envisioning it, how the murder was committed when I was investigating. While for the other ones, I think I kind of understood them as I went on and had a decent idea at the very least at the end of the investigation. Maybe not the last one though, but I think overall, none of them were really extremely mindfucky, for lack of better words, aside from the last case, the case of the Quartering Duke. That ended up being, I mean, it wasn't really what's the right word? It wasn't a confusing case, but it was more like a battle of philosophies, which I thought was a very good way to cap off the game, because it really hit. That's all I can really say. I kind of wish they kind of sprinkled in some more of it throughout, though you can really see Dolful's point of view about danger and living throughout the game, because they were always panicking, they were always scared, and life was just really, I mean, everything was really rough for them. But for a few moments they made Dolful comically evil, oh my god, your despair was so juicy or delicious. That felt a little bit off. I feel like that shouldn't have happened, but I did really appreciate the clash of philosophies. Alright, do we get post-credit? Please? I want to see a little bit more. Yes, we do. Oh, back to where it started. My locker coffin. After receiving minor medical attention, we're all ushered onto a boat owned by the DA. The Quartering Duke, formerly known as Dolful Detective, is restrained on the same ship. No one said anything yet, but I'm sure I'm headed towards a clash with the leader of the DA, Vidocq. After all, if the truth of this case comes to light, the world will probably be thrown into an even greater chaos than the Dayless Knight had caused. The Dayless Knight organization to which the Duke belongs isn't my only enemy. I'm sure both the DA and the world at large will denounce me. But still, I won't hesitate. From the bottom of my heart, I swore to keep walking this path for the sake of all my friends who have died as well.
不安じゃないのか？
Oh, you're back! Oh, we got a
この
window.
先はモルグ島での事件が優しく見えるほど茨の道が待っているぞ。
I like this shot. It's pretty nice. A nice conclusion to it all.
その道に突き落としたのは君じゃないか。
Well, it's not like I called you to this. Okay, maybe I did.
まあその通りなのだがな。
Oh man, this does mean that Ideal will essentially be no more because Watto is a very competent detective now.
しかしそのおかげで君への罪悪感が新たに生まれて、こうして君のそばにまた現れることができたんだ。
Oh, never mind, I'm still here.
自分の決断を尊びたまえよ、ワト君。
それはそうだね。うん。嬉しく思っているよ、サイカちゃん。
Aww, they're both smiling. Look at it. I don't know if the psycho before me is just an illusion, but the truth doesn't matter. From now on, I'm gonna live for both of us. Together, we can shoulder the role of ideal detective. That's one thing I know for certain.
何を物思いにふけっていますの？大変なのはこれからなんですのよ、リーダー。作戦会議をしましょう。今後の課題が山積みです。
Posh and techie summons bring me to my feet. There's no time to rest. We need to figure out how we intend to close the quartering Duke case. The first order of business is already decided. Our plan to outwit the DA going forward needs a concise name. Detectives are vital in the wake of tragedies. In other words, if the world was purged of tragedies, there would be no use for detectives. He's not going to call it process of elimination, is he? That's going to be cheesy as hell. If we can create such a reality, there's no question it would be a truly peaceful world. That's why we purposely decided on this designation for our future efforts. The Detective Elimination Project. Ah. Wow, they rebranded the name into something that has a greater meaning. Wow. Okay, that's the end of the game. Well, this might be a little bit of a surprise, but I've actually finished this game really, really early. The reason why is because I marathoned this so I could have like a stock up while I play a different game on the channel as it comes out, called Persona 3. So I actually finished this game in February, the beginning of February. And this episode is probably going up sometime in April. But yeah, so if I recall, I actually finished this game right after when the first episode came up. So by the time anyone really has the chance to comment, I've already finished the game. So I'm sorry about that if you were hoping that I would see them and react, but nah. But another reason why I have so many of these backlogs is because I really want to play the game. I just kept playing. I really enjoyed this game. I think I wouldn't say anything was particularly like a 10 out of 10, but like, oh wait, I'm missing a CG. Huh, I did not expect that. I'm 96%. Where could I be missing it? Oh, I'm missing the RTs. Oh, okay. I think I've actually heard that these missing RTs are actually part of New Game Plus. And honestly, I was considering adding them at the end of the video. I was just gonna speed run through them, but oh wait, no, wait. This is actually different. Oh, did I miss something? Because skits are at 54, but this is at 96. I'm not sure. But originally I was going to like hopefully have this episode not be too long and just have the New Game Plus stuff at the end. Well, honestly, it might take a while. I think I might make that its own episode. Oh my god, look at this evil motherfucker. But yeah, I don't think any of the cases were a 10 out of 10. Maybe if I had to give like one, like the best score, I think it'd have to be the last one because of all the revelations of everyone's motives and it all coming together. And once again, the clash between Watto and Dolfo was very meaningful. And how it was resolved was actually pretty funny too. And I actually really liked the clash between Watto and Renegade as well. That was also very interesting. But yeah, I overall really enjoyed this game. For a mystery game, it was pretty solid. I don't think it ever got too hard. I think I mentioned this maybe like 2 episodes ago, but like it's kind of funny how the investigation parts got easier as the game went on. Because you saw how I struggled with some of these, but at the end I kind of had it in the bag. Maybe some understanding of the mechanics, or maybe it's just more people listening to us or something. I don't know, but the game definitely got easier as I kind of continued on. Oh, but I wonder what happens if I click start. Oh, it just starts from the beginning. Keep cleared chapter data. Oh, okay, I see. Alright, so this basically makes it so that when I start the thing, it'll actually start with the it'll know that I completed the game, so it'll give me the RTs that I need, I assume. But I'm not gonna do that. I'll do that next time. But yeah, overall, as I said, I really enjoyed this game. It was definitely a surprise. When I heard it was just kind of like a Danganronpa-esque game, I didn't really know what to think. I bought it in anticipation, thinking it'd be a really good mystery game, but I ended up getting more emotionally invested than just it being a mystery game. So that really surprised me. It was really good. Oh, I keep saying praise. I really should say something else though. But one thing I really appreciated, at least compared to Danganronpa, like Danganronpa had a lot of meta stuff at the end of like every game. And it was really focused on like the mindfucky aspects at the end. And those were usually done pretty well. But I feel like sometimes in Danganronpa, some people are just so comically one note sometimes. Like someone might be comically evil, maybe a little bit too horny, or like too buff, or too perverted, or whatever. And it kind of gets annoying. Like their gimmick kind of gets in the way of their character sometimes. And in addition, another thing that happens in Danganronpa is that the investigations are usually alright, but the courtroom classes things, I think a lot of people like them. They like the Phoenix Wright-esque point out contradict them and whatnot. But there are so many weird minigames that I always thought were padding. I didn't really enjoy them as much, for lack of better words. And in this game, it really just felt like a mystery. You gathered at, we still had the SRPG section, and they had to put some gameplay in because it's supposed to be a game. And honestly, it wasn't really too in the way. I did struggle with it sometimes, but overall, I think it was an interesting way to actually incorporate a gameplay into finding evidence, because we were literally just finding evidence and solving things. And once we finished our investigation, it wasn't like more mini games or anything. It was just straight up, this is how I think things went, here's the evidence for it, and whatnot. I think that was a very good way of doing it. And as I mentioned before, I appreciate that like not everyone was evil, and not everyone was like intending to kill someone else. Some of them were accidents, some of them were, had good intentions. Some of them, only two people were working for the Quartering Duke. It was, it was just Senior and I keep saying this, and Shibuya. And I guess that they had valid reasons at the end. I can understand why they set all this up in motion. But at the end, I think it made sense to have like the first few people be evil, and you kind of go into the thought process of who else is on the Quartering Duke's side, who else is like evil. Renegade is the easy answer, but he's a wild card, so it doesn't always work. But actually, no, it was Workaholic who was trying to kill someone else for the sake of the group, and he ended up, living. He didn't get executed. He didn't commit suicide. Okay, he did commit suicide at the end, but he didn't do it for like just because he was found guilty of the crime. And then later on, hell, we had an entire case where no one died. Armor actually survived. He was the victim, but he ended up coming back. And I thought it was a very refreshing pace of having people survive. Because in Danganronpa, you kind of get that dread of, oh no, this person's gonna die. I can see it coming from a mile away. Oh no. And then your group is gonna be dwindled. At least 2 or 3 people at a time per case. And that thing it always makes you wary of the connections you might make. I will say, one of the things that's a little bit obvious in this game is, I don't want to say obvious, but easier to predict in this game is who's going to be the victim. Because they give you like mandatory, what's the right word, character development and progression with the relationship with Watto in the case that they're gonna die. So when Mystic had that really one-on-one conversation with Watto where he was really supportive and he was essentially a mentor figure to Watto. I knew he was gonna die because we can't really have two mentor figures because we already have Ideal with us, and we learned a lot about him, so I knew he was gonna die. Rowdy had that moment with the Hanafuda cards where she was talking about her convictions and how she's able to, you know, trust in herself, which is something Watto really needed and it helped develop his character. So when she died, I was shocked at how she died, but I wasn't shocked that she died. Actually, I was a little shocked at the fact that she died because she was one of the children. I think she was in middle school, so the game actually had the balls to kill a child, and that kind of surprised me. But overall, her role in the story, it didn't really surprise me too much that she ended up dying, and my controller ran out of battery. And then the next one was Armor. I mean, honestly, that one was kind of weird because I knew someone was gonna die in the maze, supposedly. I mean, he didn't die, but I thought someone was gonna die in the maze because basically someone died in every setting that we were in, and the maze was the 4th major setting. He just had a lot of self-sacrificing flags thrown throughout the game. Honestly, I thought it might be techie, but it wasn't really surprising when Armor literally took the knife for us, you know? And at the end, it felt like we had a really concise group, and 2 people were just, you know, off doing their own thing. It was Workaholic and Renegade. And I honestly thought one of them was gonna die. It was only shocking that both of them died. At that point, we didn't know what the trigger condition was for the collar, and we never had a case where 2 people died. So that was kind of surprising. And yeah, that was a overall overview of the case. Most of them were pretty good. I like how we tied it all back to the beginning and essentially answered all the questions I had that were kind of lingering throughout the game. So that was a great way to do it. But this is the end of Process of Elimination. I'm gonna do one more episode just to show whatever content I'm missing. As you can see, as I showed before, I'm missing one of these CGs. I don't know what it is. I wonder if I can actually see like the different versions. Yeah, I straight up don't know what CG I'm missing. It shows that I have all of them. Maybe it's someone's face. Like I know, for example, in this one, there's supposed to be different versions of it, and I don't remember how to cycle through them. Oh, okay, I just press A, okay. So I'm gonna quickly look through and see if I may have missed one of them. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't see any blank spots, and I don't know if I'm really missing any of them. I'll end up looking it up, but yeah, I just plan to have maybe a smaller episode just finishing off the New Game Plus content and reacting to it. I hope you had a wonderful time watching me play this game, because it was pretty awesome. But, you know, until next time, peace!